In Novorossiysk, a place that was supposed to be an impenetrable Russian fortress, well, it just became a funeral pyre. And what we're about to break down here isn't just some military strike. No, this is a direct hit on the Kremlin's very ability to survive. I mean, just look at this. You really have to see it to believe it. This isn't your average fire. The smoke, the flames, they're visible from space. This is a signal, a sun burning in the night sky over Russia's most critical oil port. And that sun you're looking at, that's what $2.4 billion a month looks like when it evaporates overnight. Remember that number. It's the key to this entire story. So let's be crystal clear about this. What you're seeing isn't just about destroying barrels of oil. It's about gutting the cash flow that pays for the entire war machine. It's about making the money stop. Okay, so let's really dive into this. We are going to pull back the curtain on what might just be the most ambitious and, frankly, the most financially devastating strike of the entire war. So here's what we're going to cover. We'll show you the exact math behind that massive $2.4 billion hole. We're going to expose why Russia's much-hyped air defense is, well, a myth. We'll talk about why its once-feared Black Sea fleet is now being called a collection of floating scabs. And finally, we'll get to the heart of Putin's biggest threat, losing the money he needs to survive. You know, to really grasp the scale of what happened, you have to understand the humiliation behind it. This wasn't just any old port. It was supposed to be a fortress. Think of it this way. Imagine you spend billions on a home security system, right? You've got lasers, armed guards, the whole 9 yards. And then some cheap drone you can buy online flies right through the front door and burns your entire house to the ground while everyone just watches. That right there is the Russian Navy right now. And here's the real kicker, the huge strategic blunder. They moved their most valuable warships to Novorossiysk specifically for safety. They thought, we're safe here, we're out of reach. Boy, were they wrong. Now the very ships that were supposed to protect the oil are being towed away in pieces. See, this attack wasn't just about physical damage. It was psychological. It was designed to create a trap, a strategic dilemma with no good way out. It's a classic sunk cost trap. The Sheskharis terminal handles something like 35% of all of Russia's crude oil exports. They absolutely cannot afford to lose it. But, and this is the genius of the trap, they can't really afford to protect it either. Every advanced air defense system they move to the port has to be pulled from the front lines. So you end up with this impossible choice. Do you protect the money and watch your front lines just collapse? Or do you fight the war and let your entire economy go up in smoke? Right now, Putin is trying to do both, and the result is he's failing at both. And if you want to see exactly how this plays out, let's look at a case study. Meet the Admiral Makarov. This ship was one of only 3 frigates in the whole fleet that could launch Kalibr cruise missiles. This thing was the Predator of the Black Sea. But it wasn't some massive destroyer that took it down. Nope. Ukraine used these incredibly innovative Mothership sea drones that carried swarms of smaller FPV drones. The Makarov was firing everything it had into the darkness, but it didn't matter. The Predator got ripped apart. And look, none of this was a random lucky shot. Not at all. It was part of a cold, calculated 3-step strategy, a machine designed specifically for attrition. The logic here is as simple as it is brutal. Step 1, you blind the giant. Step 2, you sever its arteries. And step 3, you just sit back and wait for the economic asphyxiation to kick in. So, step 1, blinding. Ukraine started hitting these offshore oil rigs like the Syvash. Now, why would they do that? It wasn't for the oil. It was to destroy the advanced Russian radar systems that were sitting right on top of them. You take out their eyes, and they can't see the punch coming. Then comes step 2, severing the arteries. Once the giant is blind, a swarm of about 50 drones comes down on the Sheskharis terminal. And they're not just hitting random fuel tanks. They are surgically targeting pipeline control nodes and those huge loading arms that get the oil onto the tankers. They're cutting the flow right at the source. And that, of course, leads to step 3, economic asphyxiation. With the port totally out of commission, you've got an estimated 20.97 million barrels of oil just stuck, log-jammed every single month. And that revenue stream, it doesn't just slow down. It literally reverses into a $2.4 billion monthly deficit. The fallout from this strategy, it goes so much deeper than just the balance sheets. This hits right at the heart of the Kremlin's narrative, its whole ability to function. You know, this sends a powerful message to every single person in Russia. The war is no longer some special operation happening far away on your TV screen. It's here. It's at the docks. It's in the nation's fuel tanks. And really, what this all comes down to is this simple fact. The war machine is starting to crumble. Why? Because the grease that keeps it all running, the oil money, is literally being burned away. Think about that. A country with almost no navy has somehow managed to master the sea. And the financial impact is immediate. In just a few weeks since these major strikes began, Russia has already lost an estimated $970 million in revenue. That's nearly $1 billion. Poof. Gone. Just like that. And you have to understand, this isn't some isolated incident. Sheskharis is dark, sure, but other critical ports up in the Baltic, they're burning too. This is a systemic campaign. It's designed to dismantle Russia's economic lifeline, piece by painful piece. Which brings us to one final and kind of chilling question. Sheskharis is critical, yeah. But there is one target out there that Ukraine hasn't fully gone after yet. A target so sensitive, its destruction could basically end the Russian economy in a single afternoon. The drones are already in the air. The question isn't if they'll hit it, but if the world is ready for what happens when they do.